All right. Mark, would you prefer Mark or your character name?
Either one's fine. Doesn't matter.
Yep, we can do Mark. All right. Well, hey, you're here at SimuCon. First time here, or you've been before?
Third year.
Third year, okay. My second.
So it's different every year, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I hear they're doing 80s themes this year. What do you think of that?
I don't do a lot of dressing up stuff like that, so it doesn't affect me one way or another. I enjoy watching what other people pull out of it. I was born in the 80s, so we'll see how accurate some of them are.
All right. I don't know if I have any 80s themed clothes for Saturday. I don't know.
I know I don't, and I wasn't going to go out and try to find 80 themes that A, would fit, and B, that usually costs a lot of money, so I'm good not doing that.
All right. Well, hey, where are you from?
Kansas.
Kansas? Oh, not too far.
9-hour trip, so I live close to the Colorado border, so it's a longer trip than you think.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, how do you like it in St. Louis so far?
It's not bad. I actually have family that lives like an hour from here, so I come through once or twice a year just to see them. Okay. I'm not a big city person, but it's not bad depending on where you're at. A lot of people, which is not my cup of tea, but make do with it.
Are you doing anything else other than SimuCon for the?
No, came up just to see friends that most of them I saw last year. Some of them are new friends, so nope. This is my main goal, is just coming up here, relax, have fun, see people that I've played the game with for multiple years, and finally getting to put faces with the names of the people that I enjoy playing the game with.
That's awesome. So have you ever met someone where you're like, okay, you're completely different in real life than you are from your character?
You know, it depends. A lot of people, their main characters have quite a bit of themselves into it that they don't even realize. Like just the mannerisms that they have, or the way that they talk, or the way that not talk, but the way that they act. You can see a lot of them in their characters. Mm-hmm. But for those that are drastically different, it's very weird.
Okay.
Like when somebody comes in, you're like, wait, you're who? And then you're like, different. Okay.
Well, they must be doing like a really good job role playing then, really. Mm-hmm. They're able to pull that off. Tell me about your character.
My name's Crobin. I am a Prydaen Thief. I've been playing for, I want to say like 7 years, I think, or something like that. P-R-Y-D.
Oh, hang on.
P-R-Y-D-A-E-N. Prydaen.
I'll just restart this.
I mean, everybody usually has alts, but Crobin's been my main and the one that I've been leveling up in game for multiple years. Like I said, I'm a thief, bit of a. I enjoy RP events, so I try to go to as many of those as I can for both the role play and just to show support to the people that take the time to build the events, and they do it to have people show up, and that's what pushes storylines and everything like that around.
So I know like elves. I don't know Prydaens. Do you want to tell me about that?
Prydaens are, the best way to say it is Prydaens are cat folk.
Ooh,
like
okay.
If you play D&D, you could kind of go based off of like what a tabaxi is. Like we have tails, we have ears, we are fully furred, everything like that. So yeah, pretty much a cat folk would be a secondary way to look at it.
Why a thief?
In every role-playing game I've ever played, I've always just enjoyed thieves. I like the idea of shadows, working from the shadows, not always being seen, moving around, and also just of all the guilds, it's the one that it was I don't want to say it's the easiest to play, because it's not the easiest to play, but it seems like it's the most open to play. And you can do all sorts of different things with it if you want to.
So are you not quite a hero then?
No, I would think Crobin is more of a hero. Like he's not one of the thieves that steals from other players or anything like that. I enjoy helping in the invasions that happen in game and fighting off the bad things that are happening. So he's definitely more of a hero than he is a villain.
Okay, so he steals from like NPCs?
Burgles, so he steals from random houses and stuff like that. So
is it a mechanic that you can steal from other players?
Oh yes.
Okay.
You can't steal items so much, but like coin, gems, stuff like that, you can.
And so, what happens if they catch you? Like, do you initiate combat, or like?
It makes it to where you can initiate combat. If the other player wants to, yes. If you try to steal from another PC, they have open warfare against your character for a while if they want to.
Okay. What do you think of the text-based gameplay?
Of text-based gameplay, I think that it is. To be honest, it's overlooked. Like a lot of people don't think about a text-based game being fun because you have to read it. Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, like I'm a big D&D fan, and D&D is not even text-based, it's not even visual-based, it's all imagination.
Yeah.
So to me, it's what I love because you can act out what you want to do as your character. So it just reminds me of D&D, and it just makes me, I think it's more open to what you can do because you can do actions that, like if you play World of Warcraft, you can wave, you can bow, you can salute, you can do all that, and then tons more in the game.
So you like having the greater degree of options and freedom to play your characters you choose, basically?
Yes. Okay. It's what makes it the most fun is you can play your character. If you want to play a total bad guy, you can. You have the exact option to do that. And it's so open that there's no reason not to if you don't want to.
Have you ever done that?
No. I don't know if it's just mentality or what. I've just never been able to play a bad guy for some reason. It's just I always like I'm not saying I'm a hero by any means, but I always like the idea of being a hero more than anything else.
Okay. So you talk about role playing. That's an important aspect to you. What's this like for you, and what kind of role playing do you like to do?
I guess that's a hard question to answer, just because when I think of role play, I just think of acting in character more than anything else. Like I don't do live action role play or anything like that. I play D&D, which is a lot of role play. DragonRealms, once again, a lot of role play. So it seems hard to answer, so I don't know the best.
No, yeah, no, I understand. It's a whole thing in and of itself, you know. It's
yes,
yeah.
Like there's so many different aspects of role playing that that alone you could talk about for days on end if you wanted to.
So I know that they do events, like a scripted event. But I'm a little bit fuzzy, like what this all looks like. So because I'm not a player, so
it looks like a lot of text because you have to read everything, of course. So no. The events themselves, I don't run events. A lot of the events that are ran, it depends on what kind of event you're going to. Like there's a character named Miskton who does events down in Shard where he talks about different visions that he's seen and what they supposedly interpret into. So there's so many different events, it's hard to label each of them differently. They're all different is the problem. Like the visions events, like everybody gets together, he talks about different visions he's had, and then you try to decipher, okay, well, what does the vision mean? Does it actually mean anything? Mm-hmm. You know, what's the next step if the vision is correct, kind of thing. So it's all of the events are always so much different, and it's not just different. Like he could run a visions meeting every week, and it can be drastically different than it was the week before, just because of the different visions that can happen.
And these are player run events or GM or
both? Like the ones that are like we have a calendar that you can go to, and it has like a whole list of all of the events that all player events that are doing. Like he does prediction meetings. There's a thing called Wyvern Trials, which happens every Monday, which is where you can go and spar other adventurers that are playing other player characters. And then you also have things that are ran by GMs that are even harder to explain, but they also have the ability to be more in depth with it because they have the ability to play non-player characters, and they have the ability to like make invasions happen and everything like that.
What's an invasion?
Think of you sitting in a city where you're hanging out, just hanging out with your buddies, drinking a beer, and then an invasion happens where random monsters just start attacking the city, and you go out to defend it.
So is it possible to lose where the city gets taken over and overrun, or?
So on normal invasions, I don't think so. It's always there's enough people to fight back. but they can take several hours to go through and fight if not enough people show up. But I've never seen one where the bad guys can win. But there have been storylines where if they didn't fight back, there was the possibility of it happening. But I had never seen it happen.
What about player versus player combat?
That is a touchy subject, depending on who you ask. I just recently started doing more PvP because I'm a very PvE person. Like I like people, person versus environment is what that means, and I enjoy that because it interacts with all of the world and everything like that. PvP is a lot harder because if you play long enough, you know how certain creatures are going to react to different things. You never know how another person is going to react to when you do something to them. So it adds that extra little bit of excitement because, you can run up and attack someone. Sometimes maybe they're going to run away. Other times they may turn around and lightning bolt you in the face. So it is very drastic, but a lot of fun.
Okay. Now, you talk about role-playing. Have you engaged with erotic role-play at all? Or have any
So what?
You said you engaged in role-playing. Do you have any thoughts on like erotic role-play or experience that aspect of it?
Never done it. Not something I'd really think about.
So this is sort of a two-part question. The future of the game. This can mean, what are your thoughts on the future of the game right now? And then also in terms of the universe. Mm-hmm. And then also in terms of it as a commercial product. So you can answer it either way, or both.
So the thing that the game is pushed by the GMs who put the time and effort into thinking of different ways to interact with the players. I think that's one of the strongest points of the game is because if you have the GMs that are willing to put their time in, it makes it to where the players want to put their time in. So it's very much one of those, if the GMs are going to push forward, then it's amazing to watch how many of the players come out of the woodwork to help push the events and see what's going on. Like there's a very large event in DragonRealms right now with magic and how it's interfering with different people and different things. And it's amazing to see how all of the different characters react to it. And it's even more fun to see how the different characters that you've role played with for so long are slowly starting to change how they role play because it's affecting them differently than it is other people. So I think it's the role play is what pushes it, and the GMs help it. It as a commercial, it's hard to say. I mean, it's been going strong since the 90s, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and I hope it doesn't go anywhere because it's a game that people travel halfway across the world to support.
Yeah.
Like we have some people from all over. Like I think one guy said he was from Hawaii. We've got some people that have flown from out of country.
Yeah, last year I met someone from Ireland.
Yeah. So like it's like the people they're the people that want to do their full support, and that just proves it by, hey, I flew halfway around the world because you guys put the time into it. So here's me showing my support to you guys. So I think it'll stick around for a while.
How is Crobin dealing with the magic situation?
So funny enough, the magic situation doesn't personally affect Crobin because I'm a thief, not a heavy magic user. But it does affect him because his in-game wife is a magic user, and if she can't use her magics to do what she wants, then it agitates him. So he is involved. It's just a different style than it is for some of the other people.
Okay. So you're married in the game?
Yeah.
What's this like?
Really hard to explain. Just it's called bonding in the game, and if you find people that you enjoy hanging out with and you like going to events with, you just role play through it if you want to for courtship, and then just kind of get married. There's nothing. I'd like it. It is fun just because it brings you closer as not just characters, but it's also someone I talk with, outside of the game, and I've talked to for usually I think a couple of years at least now. So it brings a closer relationship to the game. And it also can bring you closer to the game of what you enjoy doing as well. So,
what kind of ceremony did you do?
We did we did just a basic hand fasting. Just invited a bunch of friends to it. the thing that was kind of exciting is in the game, Crobin has befriended a little goblin, which is not a normal player, a normal race that people can just play as. So it was a GM NPC, and when we were getting ready to do the ceremony, I sent him a message in game. I was like, "Hey, I'm inviting you to the ceremony." So having all of my friends there that are actively, because during this time there's a very large goblin invasion and there's a problem with goblins. So when a goblin just kind of shows up to a ceremony, so many people are like, "Do we kill it?" And I was like, "Would you not? I actually invited him willingly. He's here to support."
So
he's like,
NPC showed up to support your marriage.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people made comments of, "Hey, that was a lot of fun to see." But like I said, I'm pretty sure if I was surprised people asked if they could kill it or not, because I was just waiting for somebody to yank it and just wipe the floor with it.
Well, at least they asked.
But yeah, everybody was like, "We can kill this thing, right?" I'm like, no, he's here because I want him here.
So where do you see this current magic arc going?
That's a hard question to answer, and I don't know the best answer. I think it's going to open up new spells in the game for people, which I'm excited for, just because it brings a new aspect to the game for other people, even though it doesn't affect me heavily as a player. And I think it's going to introduce new creatures, new things to fight, which is a lot of fun. So,
okay. All right. So scripting is a part of the game. What do you think of this?
It's a part of the game. As long as they are following the rules to scripting, I don't have a problem with it. Like, you're supposed to be attentive at your character, watching it do what it's doing, not just start a script and then go clean the house, go shopping, go to work. So as long as you're attentive with it, I don't have a problem with it.
So when you say how do they know if someone's attentive?
So in game, the GMs can script check. Like, they can randomly appear in your room and like interact with your character.
If you don't answer,
and if you don't interact back by a certain amount of time, then you can get in pretty hefty trouble with it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, there's sometimes they just give you warning. Like, if you've never had a problem with it before, they're like, "Hey, stop that." If they catch you multiple times, then they can dock your ranks, or you can just get banned.
Okay. What do you think of housing in the game?
The housing?
Yeah.
I love the idea of it. I would love to see it improved, because you can buy a house, which is cool, and you can decorate it, which is also cool, but it's just a one-room house. It's nothing spectacular to it. It's just a single room that you can do random things with. But I think one of the things that they are missing out on is, I would like to see them find a way to where, either in a microtransaction, to where you can buy an extra room for it, or even just put it as something you can buy for having a subscription for so long. But it's nice to have, because it's just just another little piece of role play that you can have. But other than that, it's just, okay, I have a one-room house. That's it.
Well, speaking of paying for things, what do you think of the monetization?
The what?
Monetization?
When you say that, do you mean the spending money to do stuff?
Yeah. Their current approach to making money off the game.
Show me a game that's not that way. There's so many different games out there that are, I don't want to say pay to win, because you're not paying to win, but it's a part of every game anymore. So to me, it's not something you have to do. You can create a free to play account.
Yeah, I've got one.
You can enjoy it as much as you want. Just depends on, if you don't want to pay for some things, and there's some things you just won't be able to enjoy like other people do. Some of the items that you can get may never be up to par of what you can spend money on and get the better stuff. It's not going to stop you from enjoying the game, though, unless you stop yourself from enjoying the game.
Any wild stories from DragonRealms?
I don't have a lot of wild stories, no. My wild stories more happen from coming to the cons and meeting the people more than anything else. So I don't have any real heavy-hotty wild stories in game, minus the GM NPC showing up to the ceremony, which was a lot of fun. It made it just took it that extra step, and a lot of fun.
Well, I have to hear about these in-person wild stories. Then at SimuCon, what do you got for
They're
me?
not super wild stories, but when you get a bunch of people who've played a game together for as long as some of them have, it is amazing that even if they've never met each other, how close the camaraderie is there. Like, I have been playing the game myself for like 6 or 7 years now, and I went to my first con 2 years ago, so this is my third con, and I'm sitting next to one of the guys I was looking forward to meet, and I had my Discord pulled up, and we were at one of the panels, and I was just sending him random messages, and I hadn't introduced myself to him yet.
Yeah.
So he's sitting next to me, and like I'm just sending him random messages, and then all of a sudden, like I see him kind of start looking around because I'm like, hey, dude, I'm watching you. What are you doing? Just screwing around with him. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of looks at me, and I start laughing. He's like, "Are you doing this?" I was like, "Yes, it's me." He's like, it's amazing to watch how the people act. It's just a lot of fun getting a whole bunch of adults to get together. I've only been to 2. Sorry, this is my 3rd. But if I have my way, I won't miss another one.
So, the red lanyard people. I don't think they. I think some of them want to talk to me, but I don't think the powers that be want them to necessarily. What do you think? Or is it ill-advised? Ill-advised, perhaps.
I don't know. The red lanyard people. They are
Game masters.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they don't. I don't know if I would like to think that they're not told not to talk to
No,
you.
they're totally nice. I mean, they don't talk to me off camera. It's just
I think it's more of
they don't get in trouble.
it get them in trouble, and I also think some of the questions that you're going to ask them, if they were to talk, what if they slip up and say something that they shouldn't, and then everybody's like, yeah,
That'd be a pretty interesting event.
So I can understand why they make it to where they probably don't talk to you, but it's only because they're asked not to on that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. All right. So do you want to talk about again, I told you these questions were optional. We can skip them if you want. We'll talk about your political views or philosophy.
I will not do political.
Okay.
All it does is start fights, and there ain't no reason for it.
All right. You gonna play any other MUDs?
I do not. This is the only MUD I've ever played. It's DragonRealms is a game of uniqueness because if you get to interview more people, it's amazing how many people have started the game, left the game, and then come back to the game. Like, I myself started a character back in the 90s, but I didn't know how to map the areas like some people did. So since I couldn't get around, I quit playing. Then 6 years later, they introduced a new interface where it had maps that you could use. And I joined back in. And then, of course, back then they didn't have free-to-play accounts. So, financial problems happened. So I stopped playing for a couple of years again. And then when I finally got able to, came right back. And it's seeing the changes when you haven't played for a few years can be drastic. But once you fall into it, it's like you never left.
Okay. Do you play other video games?
A few here and there. Like, I've played Diablo 4. I enjoy it here and there. I play what's it called? Like, I've played the Mines of Moria game that's out. I'm part of I've been playing Pax Dei, even though it's in early access.
Pax Dei? I'm not familiar with
that. It's a builder game. Like, you go out, harvest lumber, build a house. You can do lots of different things with it. It's fun, but I'm just not a builder game type of person. So I lose interest in it rather quickly when I play it. So.
Okay. Other hobbies or interests you have? Let's talk about that.
D&D is one of my big ones. I enjoy going out and playing D&D with my buddies, just getting together. Magic the Gathering, the card game.
Yeah, I brought my deck.
Me and a group of friends play that as often as we can. I like to go out and plink. I like to shoot. Go out to the shooting range, shoot. Other than that, no, not a lot of hobbies.
Okay. I brought my Magic deck. Did you bring yours?
I didn't, but one of the other guys here was wanting to go purchase some because he's wanting to learn how to play. So we'll see if that happens or not.
I got 2 decks, technically.
So he's here short-lived.
Okay. Well, hey. Do you want to take a couple wild cards? Could be anything. I don't know. Some of them are from other players here. Most of them are from me, just throwing I threw together. If it's too spicy and you don't want to do it, we can skip out. But
We'll do one. Have you ever done mushrooms? No, I have never done mushrooms.
me either, actually. Okay. All right. Well, hey, anything else you want to talk about, Crobin?
I'm good.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.